glide, or a loss of A to P glide. So it's a couple things we're looking for. From a motion perspective, we have loss of A to P glide, or from a static perspective, you have an anterior misalignment of that humerus. Now, when would you ever see that? I can't imagine. Yeah, only everyone in society, right, pretty much. So, just our society, oftentimes we tend to have that rounded shoulder. So this is actually a very common presentation as well, right? So this might be something that you do. Now, it's really important when you see this picture over here, you have to keep in mind of what's going on. So the doc is taking a thenar and full thumb contact bimanually on that proximal humerus, right? Going to distract with the knees, because what we're trying to do is we're trying to create that little bit of space in that glenohumeral joint. If you think about it, what's kind of interesting, I don't know if any of you have ever seen this, but there's some videos out on YouTube you could probably find of when they're doing surgery, like a total shoulder reconstruction, and it's like vacuum sealed in, right? Because of the glenoid labrum and everything, and so they actually have to break that seal, and you hear it as it comes out. You can't get that motion or the humerus really out of there until you break that seal a little bit. So oftentimes when we're doing these manipulations, we need to try to break that little vacuum seal to a certain extent so you get that motion. All right. So on this one, we're going to distract with our knees, and then our thrust is A to P. As you see my arms are going straight down. What I'm not doing is I'm not ulnar deviating. Okay? And this is what I call getting too thummy with your manipulation, right? Because what's right underneath these thumbs here? Bicipital tendon. How awesome that feel? You know what's really cool is just jam your fingers in there on that bicipital tendon as hard as you can, because it's awesome, right? No, it's not awesome. It's terrible, right? So you have a bursa right there. You have the bicipital tendon. They don't like a lot of pressure. So what you don't want to do is ulnar deviate and get really thummy right in that bicipital groove. So in this case, we're going to distract, and we're going to go straight A to P. That's it. Okay? All right, so I can have somebody come over here, please.
I have a question.
Yep.
Is there too much force?
Well, yes.
Well, I'm just asking, like, what's medium force? What's, I guess, what would you apply? If
So number one, speed is key. So speed is going to trump force anyway, right? Particularly with these types of manipulations, you want to be quick but controlled, right? And so I think sometimes it's harder for strong people because you almost don't understand how much force you're putting in there. But by the same token, I don't want you to back off of stuff because you're afraid of hurting somebody, but I want you to be really controlled and finding that in range, and that's also key, more so in extremity, or equal so in extremities than we did in cervicals. With cervicals, we want to get to that in range and then do a quick thrust from there. What do we do when we're first learning that? We go really good job of finding in range, and we come way back and then we go way over, all right? Well, same type of thing here. I don't want you to take it to in range and then come up and go whack, all right? I don't want to do that. So we need to really practice on getting to in range, feeling that in range, and then it's just a quick little thrust. And you're not thrusting for days, right? It's a small impulse. But if you back off the intent because you're worried about hurting somebody, then it's going to be an unsuccessful manipulation. It's kind of like back when you played football, like in practice, they were like, hey, if you're going to hit somebody, go 100% because somebody's going to get hurt otherwise, right? If you try to back off, somebody's going to get hurt, maybe you.
yeah.
Right? So you have to be careful about that. All right, let's set this up. So patient supine. And again, so I'm going to come over here. Now in this case, what's going to be helpful is if we can get the glenohumeral joint just kind of off the table. I'm going to come in here, and again, arms kind of in a neutral position or so. And I have this set up exactly the same as I did before. Now I'm using a bimanual thumb thenar grasp on the proximal humerus. And so here's my contact. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just distract out, and then from there, I'm taking the slack out, and then I'm thrusting straight down. What you didn't see me do is come back out and do that. Feel the difference?
Yeah.
Huge difference if I'm going like that versus that, okay? All right, questions? on that? Yep. So here, bimanual thumb thenar grasp and proximal humerus. Glenohumeral joints off the table. I'm gonna distract. I'm gonna take that slack out, and then from there, my thrust is straight A to P. On this one, if you need to pull the table up just a little bit, you can, but you wanna go straight A to P. All right.
No thrust